What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block, episode 126 for September 11th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is that retro code, Eddie V.
Sonic boom, shakalaka laka.
Was that like a mix of Street Fighter and NBA Jam? Is that what I just heard?
Yes.
Nice. Well,
Dang, I'm gonna play NBA Jam now.
Oh, jeez. No, you don't. You really don't want to play NBA Jam. Unfortunately, Jesse is not joining us this week. He's taking care of some family matters, attending to some children. You know, it happens. It happens. I'm sure it's going to happen to me at some point in the near future. But, yeah, so it's just me and Ed rolling in with Pow Block this week. So, how you doing, Ed? How's life? How's your weekend?
Working. It was kind of like really down low. But get us some good gaming in. Pick some stuff up from Switch, and looking forward to Friday because Shadow of the Tomb Raider comes out, and that's probably gonna be.
I know. I
what I've been playing.
I don't want to say I spent a lot of money, but I probably went a little bit overboard this time. I wasn't planning on getting Spider-Man, but I ended up getting it anyway because, like, I don't know, the hype got to me, man, just got to me, and so
that's why I switched it. I was just like, I'll get it next check because I'll have more money for my full-time hours. But yeah, Shadow. I just like, you know what, Shadow comes over Spider-Man. So.
Yeah, well, I ended up getting Shadow too, and it preloaded today, so I was pretty excited about that. I turned on my Xbox to make sure, you know, we had all these updates and stuff, and to make sure that the Battlefield beta downloaded, because I told Jesse I would play with them tonight, and I did. You can check it out on the Arsenal X YouTube page, the archive stream of Battlefield 5. That's up right now. You can check it out. Played about 2.5 to 3 hours of it tonight, so it's about what I thought it would feel like, even though I haven't played Battlefield since Bad Company 2. I have played Battlefront and Battlefront 2, and it feels a lot like those games, except for, you know, old-timey war stuff instead of lasers and ridiculous laser swords and stuff. So, but it felt good. But yeah, if you wanna check out Battlefield 5, you can check out the open beta stream that we did. So yeah, but man, this weekend it's been a long Saturday, and not because like anything was wrong or anything. It's just like I woke up super early. I started working on stuff super early because, you know, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna go back to sleep. I've already slept for like 7 or 8 hours, so I just started working on stuff. I got all of our social media stuff updated, and went to my parents' house because we have some out-of-town friends, and so visited with them. They finally got to meet Riley and everything, so that was a good time. And then, I don't know, it was just a long day, you know. I've been up for a while, and yeah, it's just been one of those Saturdays, you know.
Which I have to ask you, did Tuesday feel like a Wednesday for you?
Tuesday, this whole week's been weird because of the holiday, man. Because like,
oh yeah,
here in the United States, Labor Day was Monday, and it's something that we celebrate to, just, and a lot of businesses have off on that day and everything. So my week started on Tuesday. And so like Tuesday, I kept thinking it was Wednesday, and Thursday, I kept thinking it was like Tuesday, and Friday, it was just like, man, what is today, man? So it's just, this whole week has just been kind of like, kind of off,
Right, like not having the direct Thursday kind of threw everything off.
Yeah, and then we ended up doing a small video anyway on predicting the direct and kind of talking about Yoshi's Crafted World and how that name leaked ahead of time, and a bunch of stuff has been coming out that was seemingly probably part of the direct, and we're going to talk about some of it on our news bits today, but yeah, it's been a weird week. Not in like a bad way or anything. It's just been a different week. So
yeah, it just felt off.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah, definitely felt off a little bit. So, but we're gonna get into the Nintendo Pow Block. A little housekeeping for you guys. Remember, Nintendo Pow Block has moved. It's now on its own channel. You can click the link in the description below if you're an audio listener and give us a sub. That would really, really help. We'd all really, really appreciate that if you would just, subscribe to Nintendo Pow Block on YouTube. We need that URL. That way it's easier to explain to people. Hey, you can go to youtube.com/Nintendo Pow Block instead of click the link and search for Pow Block, I guess, So, yeah. Remember, you can still listen to Nintendo Pow Block every Tuesday on your podcast service of choice, and rate us and comment and share with your friends, all that good stuff. Nintendo Pow Block is giving away a $20 eShop gift card as well in the month of September. So the rules are, you must be subscribed to the YouTube page, and you must email, comment, or tweet us a question. And at the end of the month, we're picking the best question of the month, and we will give you a $20 eShop gift card. It is a North American code, so just be aware if you're an international listener, you may need to create a North American account. But anyways, so yeah, our email address is nintendopowblock@gmail.com. Email us there. You can tweet at us at Nintendo_P-Block, or you can comment on the latest podcast video. So, yeah. Win yourself an eShop gift card. There's a lot of great games under $20. Hyperlight Drifter, N++, Bastion's coming out soon. Bad North is $14.99. So, I'm just saying, there's a lot of great indie games on there. So, Okami HD is $20. Mega Man Legacy Collection's $15. Just saying, there's a lot of great stuff out there. You can be buying for $20.
And if you guys need help trying to find a game, check out our Nindies Showcase Season 1. Yeah, check that all out. So that's that $20 eShop gift card's out there to get you. So we're giving it away on September 25th, which is the last Tuesday of the month. So get your questions in. We want to read them. Lastly, check out our other channels from Nerds Gone Rogue. We are splitting out all the console specific content to their own channel. So Nerds Gone Platinum, Arsenal X, and of course you can always subscribe to the Nerds Gone Rogue Prime channel as well. Give everybody a sub. It'll make us all very happy. So yes,
that's it for housekeeping. We're gonna get into what we've been playing. Ed, what have you been playing this week?
So jumped into Horizon Zero Dawn. Trying to still get through that work on that platinum. Kind of getting further into the game. I think I'm almost close to beating it again. Only reason why I'm doing it, I'm trying to get the ancient armor. So I'm trying to get all those power cells so I could get that trophy, and then go and start doing the 100 trials. And then I should be done getting most of that game platinum, and moving on from there. Play Devil May Cry 4. And it's quite boring and a bit terrible. I had to buy the ability speed to run fast.
I was just like an odd choice.
Exactly. I was just like, why is he running like he's why is he running through mud? Like, it was slow. The combat is not exciting at all. Like, it looks terrible. And I'm playing this on PlayStation 4. It looks terrible. And I was just like, you guys got mad at Ninja Theory because they changed the way that Dante looks, and this game looks this drab and boring. Oh, it looks horrid. I mean, only paid like $8 for this game, but because I gotta play 3, but I haven't played 4. You know, I'm trying to get a little bit ready for 5 because I want to review it next year. This game is just like, I don't know how I'm going to make it through. And I think DMC Devil May Cry spoiled me. Ninja Theory really did the best DMC game ever over the main series. Like, the colors, the graphics look good, the combat in DMC is so great. Devil May Cry 4 needs a turbo mode. It needs to be fast, and it's not. I was just like, oh, I got to play through all of this. Like, this game is just, it's bad. Mediocre, I should say. For Switch, played Into the Messenger. I'm at the halfway point now because now I'm in the 16-bit era. So I'll be going through that, and I should have my review for that game up Monday, so you guys can check that at njrradio.com. Played a little bit more of Mega Man 11. Actually got to the boss and found out that you can switch the buttons for actions for some of the moves. So I switched my ZR and my ZL button, so now I could slide easier when needed. So really enjoying that. Just a bunch of fun. Did get to the boss and got my tail beat, so I'm going to be spending a little bit more time on there. I know some people said the game really needs more checkpoints, and because they was asking for feedback, and that was the biggest one, because everybody was just like, we know it's difficult or normal, but because these levels are so long, you only get 3 checkpoints in a long level like that. People could deal with the challenge and difficulty, but they were just like, at least give them 2 more checkpoints and stuff, so that they don't have to be doing long sections over and over. So playing that Dead Cells, also enjoying that game, getting further and further into that game. I'm still trying to get back to the first boss for that. Downloaded Divinity Original Sin on Xbox, but haven't started yet. And Battlefield 5 I downloaded and haven't started yet. And then my 7 backlog games that I need to start working on, I'm getting that all in order, and I'll be playing that like in the coming weeks. So, but that's pretty much what I've been playing. Getting ready to get some more Switch games like later on this month and next, and for the rest of the year and stuff. Picked up Planet Alpha also. That came out Thursday. Beautiful game, and it really is good. There's not much combat. You mostly just run and kind of jump for these platforms and do a little bit puzzling here and there, but you need to play this on the big screen. It is gorgeous in movement, and I know it's it's on PS4 and Xbox One. I think also it's cheaper on PS4. It's $15.99, but I was just like, you know what, I'm paying the $20 because I need to play this game on the go. It's very relaxing. It sounds great. Just like Corey, when I tell you about art, this game is probably one of the most beautiful games that I have seen in a while.
I think I saw this game at PAX when I went, because I think it was in the Team 17 booth with like Worms and Overcooked, and
yeah,
I think I saw this game, and I remember it looking very, like, the colors were very bold and bright, you know, like the blues and the pinks and the greens were like the greens of the grass and the pinks of like the flowers and stuff. Like, I remember that being at PAX. I didn't play it, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's one of the games that you just need to watch.
I'm looking this up on my Switch right now.
And then kind of, I mean, it's a great game to experience, but to see everything in movement in this game, I was just like, yeah, I understand why this game is $20, and I hope they recover their budget, for them to make this game across all 3 platforms. Like whatever you own, even if you don't own the Switch, get it on PS4, PC, Xbox One. This game is beautiful, and hopefully I'll finish it by Wednesday or Thursday, because I don't think it's that long. I think it's like they said it's like 3 hours, but they said it's not long. I do want to finish play this game all the way through, and from what I play, it's probably going to be a nomination for Game of the Year, and definitely a nomination for Best Art in the game.
Nice. Yeah, I really want... I remember this game. I'm looking at it on my Switch. I remember this game. It's like a 2D side-scrolling. Very bold colors. Very... I remember this game from PAX, for sure. Yeah.
And I think it was in... Was it in the Indies Direct? It was somewhere. I think it was somewhere.
I think
UK.
I think it might have been in the last fall Nindy Direct. Yeah. Like, I remember it wasn't like this year, because I remember it's been delayed a couple times, and then Team 17 took over publishing. So, yeah, I remember this game. It's been around for a little bit. So,
yeah, it is completely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been playing. I'll have more content next week, because we'll probably talk a little bit about Shadow and more indie games that's coming. That's going to be dropping. Some big main games also coming, so we'll probably have some more to talk about next week.
Yeah. Is that all you've been playing?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I've been trying to play stuff on and off. I guess I'll start with other platforms besides Switch. I did pick up Spider-Man. I played about the first 2 hours of that game. And that game, I went from not being interested in that game at all to, like, a lot of people were talking about it and everything. And I was like, well, maybe I'll check it out. Because, Sunset Overdrive is such a great game, and Insomniac's been a great developer for the most part for the last decade or so, with Ratchet and Clank and Sunset Overdrive, and even Fuse had some interesting ideas. It wasn't great, but it had some interesting ideas. And Resistance was an interesting take on the shooters genre. So, like, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to check it out, because Sunset was great, and the last Ratchet and Clank game was amazing. So, picked it up. I get in there, and I'm like, this is interesting. The way it starts out is very interesting. It really kind of puts you in almost like something you would see as like a final boss battle of older Spider-Man games, right?
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, where you're kind of infiltrating Fisk's tower, and you kind of work your way up to his office, and then it's like a big boss battle against Fisk, and it was really hard, because like it throws you into this situation where like you kind of are still learning how to move and play the game and stuff, and it was pretty challenging as like a beginning boss stage, and then I unlocked the open world, and swinging in that game, like swinging around the city and stuff, feels so good. And if you run into a building, you don't just like cling to the building, you just start wall running if you're not swinging, right?
Yeah.
And you just start wall running across the wall, and if you see like a fire escape, Spider-Man just kind of weaves through the fire escape pretty naturally without stopping, and to keep your momentum going. And then when you jump off a building and you just press the right trigger to swing, it feels really good to move through the world. Like I was actually shocked at how good it feels to swing through the world. The geometry doesn't really get in your way. Like they made animations for where if you're swinging and there's a building in front of you, like it naturally shifts directions, and it actually feels really good. I did some of the non-Spider-Man parts where you play as Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of interesting, but if there's a lot of this, I could see it getting old real fast, but it does progress the story along. So, I mean, I see, like, there's a twist coming. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a part very early on where it has to do with what Peter's doing and his job. And it's like, okay, there's a twist coming here. I very clearly see it, but it's an interesting take on this twist that it has been explored 100 times in like comic books and movies and stuff. So like I'm interested to see what their take on this twist is, but I got through all that and kind of I've gotten my first upgraded suit, which is cool. Oh, I got my first upgraded suit and I kind of just started exploring the open world, and there's a lot of cool collectibles that are like, some of them are hidden, but they're not super challenging to get, and it's kind of like a nice change of pace compared to the games I've been playing, where it's just like, this is just a nice, fun game and very upbeat game. Like, there's no like heavy storytelling here. There's no like sad characters or anything. It's just kind of like Spider-Man's pretty upbeat, Peter Parker's pretty upbeat, like the writing is pretty upbeat, and it just feels really good to swing around the city and find these collectibles, fight some crime and stuff. I mean, this game isn't like changing the way we're going to start looking at video games, but it's like a solid, it's just a solid Spider-Man game.
Did you do the mission where they were showing it at E3 where all the bosses were coming?
No, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
No, I just started exploring the open world and was just swinging around and stuff and looking for backpacks and collectibles, and I'm trying to do the thing that I did in Zelda and go around the city first and unlock all the towers, because there's a bunch of towers to unlock the different regions of Manhattan, and you just kind of unlock them and whatever. So I'm trying to do that and find all the backpacks, because I kind of want to do that first before I do anything else, because that just seems like a fun thing to do, and then I'll just continue the story and do some of the side stuff.
I heard you could get overpowered that way by finding the backpacks and stuff like that.
You can, because they unlock suit mods, and you actually unlock some of the suits that way. And I mean, I really don't care. I'm Spider-Man. I want to be overpowered. I don't really care about how fast you progress in this game. It's just a fun game. So if you have a PS4, I highly recommend picking it up, even if you're not a fan of Spider-Man, because I'm not really a big Spider-Man fan. But it's just a fun game. It is a game. It is a checklist game, and it is a fun traversal game. So that's what you can expect out of this.
It's so funny that you mentioned it. I was watching our infamous First Light episode, and it's how we was talking about Spider-Man, having our predictions and stuff. And I was just like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, this is time, right?
Yeah. I didn't really intend it to be that way. It just kind of happened.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's I've been playing that today mostly. I've been trying to get a lot of stuff done for our YouTube channel, so I haven't really been playing much other than that. I did play the normal run-of-the-mill stuff before I go to bed. Puyo Puyo Tetris I've played a lot of. Dead Cells I've played a bunch of. I downloaded Hyper Light Drifter on Switch finally. I'm very excited to start that. Played Bad North. I talked about Bad North last week, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I've played more of that. That game has some slow progression. Like, I like the game a lot, but it has some slow progression where I'm like 20 levels in and I'm still using the same strategies I was using in level 1 and 2. So, but like, it's a cool concept and I like playing it. I am really enjoying the concept of the game. It's just like, okay, I've kind of been doing the same thing now. I'm ready for something. I'm ready for a twist on this concept, right? So, I'm going to keep playing it because I like it, but I hope something changes soon. So, I've been playing a little bit of Fortnite, just on a whim, 1 or 2 matches here and there. But the one thing that I did play was the Mega Man 11 demo on Switch, and that game was fun. Like it was weird because I was expecting going in being like a hard Mega Man game, and it's not really like it feels like old Mega Man, but it feels different in a way. You know what I mean? And it doesn't feel as hard as those old Mega Man games, which is
what difficulty did you play it on?
Whatever the middle one was, because there was like easy, like normal, and then there was like a hard mode. And then there was
because I think it was like very easy, normal, hard.
Yeah, I played it on easy because it was like very easy, normal, and then I think hard was like blacked out or like grayed out or whatever.
Yeah, and see, I played it on normal, so I think I can understand like playing it on easy, you'll have less of a challenge, and I think playing it on normal, like. But it's not even losing a lot of energy. It's just placement of stuff in that game and being quick.
Yeah. So I played that. I played Blockman stage, and I really like the level design and the enemy designs, like the little guys on the single wheel things that kind of buzz around the level, or the little yellow flying things that they look like the robots from Flubber. Remember the dumb movie Flubber? That I really like the way that game looks. I like the way Mega Man looks. It looks a lot better than it did at the reveal event.
Yes,
it looks a lot cleaner. So
yeah,
I'm actually really, really excited for that game now that I've played the demo. But that's kind of all I've been playing. And then, like I said earlier, Jesse and I played the Battlefield 5 demo or beta, and I guess it feels like Battlefield. I don't know. I haven't really played a Battlefield game in a long time, so but it was good. I really enjoyed it. So, but we're gonna actually get into some of these news bits. So let's start out, man. Let's start out with some kind of bad news. So this comes from IGN. Some Switch games seemingly won't support cloud saves. Kind of sucks. That's a big well, I'll just read the article. One of the features Nintendo has touted for its paid Switch online service launching later this month is cloud saves for games. However, it appears not all Switch games will get support for the feature. Game Informer first reported that Nintendo's web pages for first-party games, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Splatoon 2, and others contain a message indicating that they will not support cloud saves. The page for third-party titles Dark Souls Remastered, Dead Cells, FIFA 19, and NBA 2K19 also have this message. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version of each of these games feature backup cloud saves. Quote, Nintendo Switch online membership sold separately and Nintendo account are required for online play. This game does not support save data cloud backup, reads the message. Not available in all countries. Internet access required for online features. So Nintendo has responded in the article to Game Informer. They posted it and said that they want to have a fair playing field and prevent item duplication, which is easily manipulated through cloud saves. So, what do you think about this, Ed?
I find this as no problem. I'm like, you already saving the game on a cartridge, so what doing the cloud is going to, like, even with Splatoon 2, like, it saves on the cartridge. What you need that information on the cloud for? You don't really need it. Same with FIFA, Madden, and other games. It's just like if the stuff is already saving on your cartridge or your micro SD card, and you're on the go, you're not going to be around any kind of internet. So if you have this already saved on your micro SD card or on the cartridge, why even worry about it?
Yeah,
that's not going to be any problem with that. even with Dark Souls, like it's that's going to be saved on the cartridge too. Like, why would you throw that in the cloud for? Like, I understand, cloud saves are really important for backup data, and maybe for people who got that information on their micro SD card, they, if they lose their system, they get back in, they may be able to, get all the information and stuff back. But that depends if like your whole system is stolen or anything, and you don't have that game anymore, or you bought all your stuff digitally. I can understand that being a problem, but I'm just like, if you already own the stuff, definitely if you own it on cartridge, it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about this yet. And one hand, I'm like, if your data is saved to your system and you can transfer saves to another system if your system has an issue, like, I don't know. But then there's the part of like, well, these third-party games, especially like all that stuff, Xbox and PlayStation do this, and they don't have any issues with item duplication or something. So like, I don't know. I get it from Nintendo's perspective, especially in a competitive game like Splatoon or I guess Dark Souls to an extent, where like if you're manipulating and using multiple items, like if you are able to do that, like that's an issue. But at the same time, the other consoles and some PC stores have ways of dealing with this. So I don't know. It's hard to hear, but at the same time, it's like, does it really cause that big of an issue? So it's just I know some people are going to have a hard time hearing that news, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing about it the next couple weeks. From the loud mouths of the internet, but
who's even thinking about cloud saves on PS4 and Xbox One? Like, I don't like, it don't even tell me that I have cloud saves. It told me on PS3 that I was receiving them. It's not telling me on PS4, Xbox One. Everything is saving to my hard drive or external hard drive. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, some people have multiple consoles where one's in the bedroom and one's in the living room or whatever, and they need to download saves from the cloud to play on other systems. But that's where I see that. But like, I don't really see people doing that with Switch, because there's no need for multiple consoles. You just need another dock, Right. So, I mean, unless something is really, really, really messed up, like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. So, I'm sure there'll be more coming out about Nintendo Online Service during the Direct, probably this week at some point. So I will revisit this after the Nintendo Direct, because I'm sure more information is going to come out about it. So, but Ed, our next story is of lighter note, and I know you're going to be super excited for this. This comes from Game Informer. Capcom is hosting an unmissable Ace Attorney panel at the Tokyo Game Show. Capcom has announced that there will be a panel for Yakuten Seiben, known in America as Ace Attorney, during the Tokyo Game Show later this month on September 22nd. Capcom made sure to note that the event is, quote, unmissable for fans of the series. And then it goes on to say that it might be the rumored Ace Attorney for Switch. The trilogy might be ported over. There might be a new game, yada, yada, yada. So Capcom is very excited about this, and so is Game Informer. So how are you feeling, Ed?
I'm happy, but I want to know what they're going to announce, because even though it is an Ace Attorney, there are games in the Ace Attorney series that's never came to America. And if they're going to announce a collection, I'm all for that.
Yeah, a lot of them have been regulated to mobile devices too recently, which is weird. Which is like, I mean, I get it, but like, it's still weird.
it took, because a lot of people didn't buy it on DS until it ended up in a bargain bin at GameStop, and then when people couldn't find it anymore, and they weren't doing reprints, everybody was trying to like literally find this game. Like out of the blue, it just became popular because nobody was buying it. I found it for $20, and I think after I brought it, that game started becoming popular because word of mouth. But there's just some games that have became over here to America, and I would love if they're going to bring a new game out. I would love for them to say a universal release for America and Europe.
Yeah.
Now there's a rumor that the fourth Ace Attorney game is supposed to be coming to Switch. I think that's with his other. That's with the one with the red outfit, and I can't think of his name. And Phoenix Wright's daughter, or adopted daughter, who's a magician. She's his sidekick. And they said that one is supposed to be coming to Switch. It was like the first one without Phoenix Wright, because he had stopped being alone.
The Apollo Justice one?
Yeah. They said that one is a rumor to come to Switch.
Interesting.
Because it's supposed to have the graphics of the mobile game and stuff. But even that got a trilogy and stuff. So I would love this. I actually would love to see all of the DS versions come, the DS and 3DS games come to Switch. But I also would like to see the ones that didn't make it over here, because there was a sequel to one of the Phoenix Wright's Nemesis from the first game, and I cannot think of his name. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just getting off of work. He had his own game, and then there was a part 2 in Japan, but it never made it to America, and people want the one to come here. So I'm sitting. I'm going to be calm, and I'm gonna wait for TGS to start. Hopefully, they do a live broadcast, or someone covers it and tweets out about it, so I can see what they're going to announce. So I'm excited. I'm just taking it with a grain of salt, relaxing.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm excited to see a new entry to the Ace Attorney series, even though I've never really played it, but it's always been one of those interesting series. So, yeah. All right, our next story, another roller coaster of a ride here. Square Enix announces Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition for Nintendo Switch. Since the delay of the Nintendo Direct, multiple game sales have gone live, demos have been released, and now there's even new game announcements. Square Enix has revealed that Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD will arrive, quote, soon on the Nintendo Switch. The free-to-start title was originally released earlier this year on Android and iOS devices and is said to be an abridged version of Final Fantasy 15, which arrived in 2016. Here's the PR courtesy Here is the PR, courtesy of Gamatsu. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD. Fans and newcomers alike can follow the journey of Crown Prince Noctis and his brothers-in-arms, Prompto, Ignis, and Gladiolus, with fully voiced key event scenes and faithfully recreated battles. All of the treasured moments from Final Fantasy 15, like driving the regalia across breathtaking landscapes, camping, chocobo riding, and more, can be experienced in a whole new way with the game's creative, reimagined art style and HD resolution for the Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 system versions. The announcement follows rumors earlier this week where the mobile game icon appeared at the PlayStation Store. Since then, it has now been confirmed that the game will cost $24.99 in Europe and $29.99 and is 40% off the first week. It's also worth noting that in last September, Final Fantasy 15 director Hajime Tabata teased of the full Final Fantasy experience could eventually show up on Switch. Not long after he made these comments, the Pocket Edition of the game was unveiled. Man, that's disappointing.
So is this I'm lost. Because is this supposed to be the whole original version of Final Fantasy 15?
No, this is
it just
this is the
like,
this is the Final Fantasy 15 mobile game that they made, and it's like it's this weird kind of. It's not Final Fantasy 15. It's more RPG-ish, and it's more of like a cartoony version of the game.
Yeah.
And then like it's free to start, so like you get the first chapter for free, and then each additional chapter costs like $3 or $5, or you could buy the whole thing for like $15 or something on phones. And it's just like this weird version of the game where like it tells the same story, but it's a different game. So I don't know.
Okay.
Look,
Yeah,
the Royal Edition on PlayStation and Xbox this week is $17.99. Just play the real version of this game. This is some bullcrap version of the game that nobody wants on Switch. So
yeah, I was lost on like, what is this? Is this supposed to be Final Fantasy 15? But
instead of making the game again in a different way, you should work on finishing the game in the first place. Because that game still has content coming out for it. Not that game was bad or anything. Like, I played it, I loved it, but it really felt like it wasn't done. Like, there are big chunks of that game missing, and they sold it as DLC.
Like, I have it on Xbox, and I haven't even started it yet.
Big chunks, and then like there's this big chunk of there's like a 15-year or 20-year gap in the story. Right, and like towards the end of the game, and there's a point in the game where Noctis becomes older and everybody becomes older, right? But there's a gap between the point where like there's like a 20-year gap in the story, and so some of the DLC takes place in that gap, and then there's a whole multiplayer suite that they added, which I hear is actually pretty cool. That takes place during that 20-year gap where you play as a different set of characters. You actually create your own character and play with friends. You create a character, and I guess you play like a knight of the Royal Army.
Yeah.
Who are out to search and building up the army to, take on the enemy or whatever. And, they've even added more to the ending since the game released, right? Like, it's almost like a Mass Effect 3 style patch to flesh out the ending, right? And so like I actually really want to go back and play it again with this content, because like I want to see the game that I didn't get to play. There's so much different. They even changed one of the chapters because people had so many issues with how that chapter was handled, which I played it.
I think it was chapter 13.
Yeah, I played it, and I'm like, I don't know why people have an issue with this. This is just a different style of game. Like you're not playing Noctis. You're trying to like escape this prison thing, and it's like a stealth mission, and like you're just trying not to get caught, right? And it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I thought it was like a cool change of pace for the game, but they changed it, so now it plays more like the right. I don't know.
Well, I would say this before we move on to the next story. It's nice that they announced this, but that game is going to get overshadowed because of The World Ends With You.
I just don't think that, like, people want Final Fantasy 15 on Switch. This is not the game they want, right? Like, that's my thing. There's already better Square RPGs on the Switch. Like you said, The World Ends With You, Octopath Traveler, even something like I Am Setsuna and Lost Sphere. Like, those games are probably going to be a better experience than this weird version of Final Fantasy 15. So,
right.
I don't know. Get it if you want it, but I don't recommend it. And if you really want to see what it's like, the first chapter is free on phones and tablets and all that crap. So, yeah. Also coming to Switch, Ed. This comes from Game Informer. Firaxis is bringing Civilization 6 to Nintendo Switch.
This threw me for a complete loop.
Yeah, I know, right? Like a hardcore PC RTS, like civilization simulator.
Exactly.
I'm just going to read the article from Game Informer. Sid Meier's legendary Civilization series has fascinated turn-based strategy fans for decades, letting us build empires, explore foreign countries, develop new technologies, and ultimately conquer the world. Now, 2K and Firaxis have partnered with Aspire Media to port Civilization 6 to Nintendo Switch. The Switch version of Civ 6 does not include the Rise and Fall expansion that released earlier this year, but it does include a few additional post-PC content packs. So Switch fans can be able to colonize Australia and Outback Tycoon, defend Poland and invaders in Jadwig's Legacy, plunder Europe and Vikings, Raiders, and Traders, and conquer the classical world and conquest of Alexander. Up to 4 players can compete or cooperate in the world diplomacy via wireless play when Civilization 6 finds its way onto Switch this year, November 16th. Probably wouldn't put it out the same day as Pokemon, but just throwing it out there. But this is exciting. This is a cool...
Yes.
This is a game that...
Now...
If it gets the love it deserves, could be really cool on Switch.
Now this is the question, because now everybody's talking about sim games being on the Switch and from PC would be a good fit. I have no problem with Civ 6. I kind of would like to see Tropicano. I think it's Tropicano. Tropico to come to Switch. And I hope that Civilization 6 is successful for that game to bring it on, because I have heard a lot of great things about that game.
Well, what I hope is that if Firaxis is, if this is successful for them, that they're testing the waters to bring over XCOM or XCOM 2. Because Mario and Rabbids works so well as a strategy game on Switch that maybe... even if it's a port of Enemy Within, the first game plus the expansion for the first game, if they brought that over to Switch, I think that would be cool. And I hope Civ 6 is successful, because that means something like you said, Tropico or XCOM could come to Switch. So. Yeah,
like being you, we have our eyes set on Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yes,
we have our eyes set on that.
That game's gonna be so bad. I just have this really bad feeling about Roller Coaster Tycoon, dude. I don't have any faith in Atari to do anything anymore. They can't even market their own box that they don't even know what it's gonna be like yet.
Yeah, that whole thing is a mess. But to see more strategy games, to see PC strategy games to come to Switch, and Civ 6 leading the pack, I think it's going to get a lot of those players on PC onto Switch. Excuse me. And I definitely going to be checking Game Informer's review about it. Like, I'm not a sim person. I can't do games like that. I'm just not that. Not saying I'm not that talented or that smart, but I'm a person that's just like, if I build stuff like this, I need infinite money. Because once you start messing with money, it's just like, this is not going right. They're not doing what I designed. Like, they don't, like, I don't think there's a game that teaches you how to play a sim game. You're great at Roller Coaster Tycoon on PC. I buy Roller Coaster Tycoon to make roller coasters. Definitely want 3.
I love Roller Coaster Tycoon. I love it so much. Sometimes when Matt and Moose start talking about Dark Souls or Bloodborne and beer and music and whatever, I just open Roller Coaster Tycoon and start building stuff. And they know I do it too. It's not like it's a big secret, but it's just like, man, I can only listen about Dark Souls for so long.
So, but I mean, I just thought that, I'm like, wait, like, and I didn't even see a trailer or an announcement. Someone was on Twitch on Twitter that was just like, yeah, Civ 6 is coming to Nintendo Switch. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, didn't that game just come out this year?
Yeah, I think it came out last year, but
last year. I mean, that's big.
That's a big get for Switch. I am excited to see how well that does. I don't know if I'm going to be getting it myself, but that's a big get for Switch. I'll be keeping my eye on it. I might try it out.
It's a great. I think it's going to be a great game for touch, like the touch system, like I don't think that'll be a game to play on TV. As in, if it's easier for me to touch, use my finger to place where I needed to place and get more exact where I want exact placement at, I think Civ 6 will be a great hit for the Switch, and I think it will sell well. I'm hoping 250,000 copies is a good number for them, but we'll see.
Yeah. On to our next story. This comes from IGN. Harvest Moon creator explains why he wants to make a Little Dragon's Cafe sequel. This article is kind of long, but basically what the interview says is there's a lot of stuff they had to cut from the game due to budgeting and time constraints that he thinks he could actually implement in a sequel with the right publisher and the right amount of budgeting behind it. But he's not going to do it through updates or DLC because he wants to explore his options. Let's see here. He says that the changes he wants to make, they couldn't be implemented easily into Little Dragon's Cafe through updates or DLC. One of those elements was customization. If Wada were able to make a sequel, he said player and cafe customization would be a big priority. He also wants to make it so that the dragon has more customizable features too. Right now in Little Dragon's Cafe, the dragon's color changes. However, the dragon shape does not change. It's the same among all players. In a sequel, I'd like to see that the dragon change in other ways, such as with new abilities. Translation weird. Maybe some will be better at swimming, maybe some will be better at fighting or other things. I'd like to make it different for players depending on how you raise your dragon. It'd be great if players could make their own individual dragon just for them. So that's an interesting little tidbit because I know a lot of people are looking forward to Little Dragon's Cafe, especially with the Harvest Moon
crowd.
Yeah, so
I need to watch a trailer for this because I don't remember this game at all.
Yeah, like I've been hearing about it here and there, but I don't even know like what kind of game it is, to be quite honest with you. I've heard about it for probably 6 months at this point. But I don't know. If you listeners know what this game is, write into us, let us know. Like, I'm interested in hearing more about this game. I really just don't know what it is.
And when it comes to old school dragons with me, I always go to Breath of Fire 3. Come on, Capcom, get on that. Put it on Switch.
Man, you and your outrageous claims.
Hey, it's a PlayStation 1 classic. I bought that game with my birthday money.
All right, our last story comes from Nintendo Life. Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default sequels are being discussed internally. I said this came from Nintendo Life, right? Prior to the launch of Octopath Traveler on the Nintendo Switch, it was revealed the final release would be complete product and there were no plans for downloadable content. In the most recent issue of the weekly Famitsu magazine, Square Enix reiterated a previous reply made by Masashi Takahashi when asked if the game would eventually receive DLC. Regarding paid DLCs, we had decided from the beginning not to create them, so there are no plans. Chances of a sequel sound a bit more promising. Quote, as for a sequel, we still cannot say anything concrete yet, but we're just starting talks about how it ought to be. They went on to talk about future entries in the Bravely Default line and reassured Famitsu that this series would make a return. The primary goal is not to rush out a game every year, and instead it takes time to make a title with the same volume as existing releases. So that's cool. I would like to see a sequel to both. I need to get back to Octopath Traveler because that game is cool. And I would not mind seeing Bravely Default return either, whether it's, the first or second game getting a port to Switch or a collection or, just a straight up third game.
I will say this. Please change the difficulty on Bravely Default.
No.
There's one boss that is...
Get good, Ed.
No.
Get good.
I'm 15 levels higher than this boss, and it has the ability that I can't do nothing about.
Is it the boss? Is it the boss that one hit kills your entire party?
I think so. Yeah. It's
unless you're 20 levels over, and then it 2 hits your party.
It's like the third boss. It's like some kind of fire octopus.
Yeah, I know exactly what boss you're talking about. It has this weird random ability, and it doesn't use it all the time, but when it will use it at the most inopportune time, and it just wipes out your entire party.
Yes.
So,
and I'm levels beyond higher than him, and I'm defending because I want to do all my hits, just like in Octopath Traveler, save up. Mm-hmm. Nope. He'll cast it, and I'm dead.
Yeah, but I would like to see some sort of the way that Square did Final Fantasy 7 and 9 on PlayStation 4, where you could totally just play the game for the story or whatever, and kind of just make your way through it. But yeah, I hear you. I would like that game to be a little bit easier, but at the same time, it's a hardcore JRPG. You have to grind. The grind is real.
Oh, and I grind on that mug.
I know.
Do, but that boss is literally unfair.
Yeah,
and I don't know if they thought about it. Just you know what, we might need to remove this ability from him and make it fair, because if people are having a lot of people were having problems with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll see. I would love to see both games return, and I hope they stick with the Octopath Traveler style art style for not only that sequel but for a Bravely sequel. I think or the art that they do for the covers and the key art and stuff.
Yeah.
The hand-drawn watercolor-esque style.
Yes.
That'd be super cool art style as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, Ed. We're going to move into question block.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Remember, if you email us a question at nintendopowblock@gmail.com, comment below the latest podcast video, or tweet at us at Nintendo_P_block your question, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, you could win a $20 eShop gift card this month. We're giving it away on September 25th, so get us your questions. We have some pretty good ones in the bag so far. So we're going to get right into this question block. Antonio Guillen, friend of the show, friend of the channel. I love that guy.
Antonio.
I want to get him on here soon,
yes.
Right? So first he says he's really sucking up for this eShop gift card, man. He's love your thumbnails on Nintendo Pow Block's new YouTube channel. Thanks, Antonio. We love you.
Yes.
Also, he says, my question. Do you see a day when Xbox and Nintendo collaboration/cooperation gets to the level where some first-party exclusives for each are available on both? Maybe something not too graphically intense, maybe a State of Decay 3 on Switch or Splatoon on Xbox cross-console play. We've talked about this lightly a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I think if this happened, it would be more Xbox on Nintendo rather than Nintendo on Xbox, because I think, Phil Spencer's been very open about, I want people to play games. He doesn't care where they play them at, right? And that's why, Xbox Play Anywhere is on PC. That's why they're talking about multiple devices and, being able to stream to tablets and stuff. And, it's going to probably go to the next level in the next generation. And but Nintendo is clearly still very protective of their IP. They've expanded into mobile, but not in a a full on, this is replacing 3DS sort of way, So if anything, for me, it would be more, hey, Xbox is going to allow Nintendo to have some of Rare's titles like Banjo-Kazooie or Conquer or Perfect Dark. That'd be cool to see a $30 Perfect Dark on Switch and Xbox and be crossplay, right? That would be a cool type thing.
And I think Nintendo is they work well when they license their characters out to different developers. So we might be able to see a teen-rated Halo with Samus in it. We might be able to see those Nintendo characters in Xbox version of Minecraft. Nintendo is working.
Yeah, I think the Nintendo pack is in the Xbox version, if I'm not mistaken. Like either that or like, I don't know. There's something weird, but I remember seeing that somewhere. I don't know if it's coming to Xbox or is on Xbox, or maybe I just totally made that up. But like, I swear the Nintendo Smash Up pack is on Xbox because you can get like the Master Chief armor and the Gears stuff on the Switch version. So,
I mean, that would be interesting. We'll have to do more research, but I could see Nintendo allowing some of their characters, and whether they're the big ones or small ones, be used in some of Microsoft's friendly games. If it is teen, I could see Link's costume being in Fable 4.
Or I could see Microsoft publishing stuff like Ori and the Blind Forest on Switch, or Cuphead with special, Mario costumes on Switch. Like, I could see some sort of cool crossover that way. But I don't think you're ever going to see like full on Splatoon or Metroid on Xbox.
I could see Nintendo allowing Microsoft to design a Pikmin style Metroid level for Ori as DLC.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them incorporating stuff but I'm not. I could see Nintendo allowing Microsoft to do stuff in their games as long as the games are appearing on both consoles. But I don't think you're ever going to see a full game like Splatoon or ARMS or Mario on Xbox. I think you could possibly see elements of like, hey, in Halo you can maybe have like a Samus suit or something in there, or you know what I mean, like you said.
Yes.
So, or like when Fable comes out and maybe they decide to put Fable 4 on Switch and you could find a Link costume, but man, a Mario Cross Cuphead game, that'd be kind of cool. Jesse's shirt would be real. It'd be real.
I could see the Cuphead characters having a Mario outfits on.
Yeah,
like that would be cool. And instead of them shooting their bullets, they're shooting fireballs.
Yeah, and I could also see something like Rare Replay showing up on Switch, like Rare Replay Deluxe, which was actually rumored for a little bit before E3, right? The Rare Replay Plus, where they would have like the Donkey Kong Country games in it, and a lot of the Nintendo IP that Rare used to work on. So I don't think it's out of the question, but I think it's more one-sided than the other, if that makes sense. So
yes,
man, I would love to see crossplay Perfect Dark, though. Man.
The West versus not West versus the East, but the West and the East working together, because a lot of people.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm looking through the Xbox exclusives and seeing what would fit well on Switch, and like I could see Sea of Thieves working on Switch.
Yeah, it's not too intense graphically, so yeah.
Or Super Lucky's Tale.
Oh yeah,
Well, I don't think anybody
But
wants
Nintendo
that
will play that and be like, "We need to fix all of this."
No, they just be like,
we need to patch.
They just be like, "No, we're good."
No, I think Nintendo could take Super Lucky's Tale and fix all of that. Get the platforming and 3D jumping around, and help them. Cause like when people think of Microsoft and Nintendo, they're thinking of Microsoft and Nintendo of America. No, you got to think of Microsoft here in America and Nintendo of Japan. They're the ones that got to come together, not Nintendo of America.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see it happening. I could see Microsoft having you sign into Xbox Live on Switch for other games other than Minecraft. So that I could see like those twin stick Halo games coming over at some point. I could see, Halo Wars even coming over at some point if they decided to work out some sort of deal. So, but that I mean, that's just something we've been talking about and dreaming of forever. So,
yeah.
It's interesting. I can't wait to see what they actually do with this kind of collaboration thing that they've been kind of doing in commercials and with Minecraft and Fortnite and Rocket League. So we're going to move on to our next question from Sebastian Greenwald. He asks, what companies would you like to see Nintendo collaborate with in the future? P.S. Can't wait to see what Ed says because you know it's going to be weird and crazy. Do you want to go first, Ed?
Okay. So, who Nintendo can collaborate in the future with? I always say wait for it. That's a given. Everybody knows that.
That's not crazy enough. Come on, Ed. Not.
I think Nintendo and, like you said, Insomniac. I think Nintendo and Insomniac could actually make a good platform. I mean, because Nintendo Ubisoft for a Star Fox game, that's fine. But I kind of would love to see Nintendo and Insomniac probably do something like do a horror game, like take Eternal Darkness and like change it up. Like Insomniac is good at weapon design and kind of making grand worlds. Nintendo is great at making great level design and mechanics. So to see them come up, probably maybe a new IP or something if they want to see those two work together, or even give Insomniac Metroid Prime 4 and just throw the whole industry upside down.
I would want them to do like a full on. I wouldn't want them to tackle Prime specifically because Prime kind of has that first person stigma to it, just because of Resistance. That's true.
And I think Insomniac ideas of how they would design the enemies and stuff will pretty be cool, and they will be able to give Samus new powers because they're great at making weird and scientific guns.
That's true.
So why not, as crazy as that may seem, let that happen. I literally can't see that. I think Nintendo and Netherworld, I think that's the people who make the fighting game
Mortal Kombat,
and Injustice. I could actually see them doing something with Wario and Waluigi.
Jeez, nobody wants that.
And just to see how demented they could get, but yet not making a platformer, like literally make it a mini, kind of a cartoonish mini game, but just to see what insane stuff those two could come up together. Nintendo ever felt like they want to be twisted, because like as much as I would love to say Konami and Nintendo to do Eternal Darkness, even though I said Insomniac, I kind of would love to see Namco band. Well, I would kind of love to see Bandai Namco and Nintendo make a Uniracer arcade game.
Oh, jeez. There it is. Uniracer. Man, I don't know who I'd really want Nintendo to team up with, because I would like to see Nintendo work with Rocksteady, because they've kind of done the best Metroid style game in 3D with Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
Now Arkham City and Knight kind of get away from that because they went kind of full open world with that. But you know, Arkham Asylum is a Metroid game with Batman. It's a Metroid game. Like you have to backtrack, you have to unlock gadgets, you have to find new pathways through and fight cool bosses and stuff. Like I would like to see their take on a kind of solitary, either like a space station or even, you know, get the Visceral team that EA closed and kind of get them quote unquote back together or whatever, and have them take that. Like Dead Space is basically a horror Metroid game, right? It's all about isolation. It's all about weaving your way through this abandoned space station, backtracking, stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
I think that team, if you could get the guys that left to do the one Call of Duty studio, Sledgehammer, like if you could get them back to lead the studio and kind of get this talent, like I would love to see some sort of like dark horror Metroid game.
The people who make Guacamelee, I cannot think of their name. Drinkbox. I would love them to remake, and I kind of said this on another podcast, World 1-1. I would kind of, I said a different developer. The people who made Metroid Samus Returns, I kind of said I would love to see. Yeah. Mercury Steam. I did say I kind of would love them to remake Super Metroid, but now I want Drinkbox to remake Super Metroid.
Yeah, I could see that.
And a lot of people don't want Super Metroid to be touched, but I'm like, that game has kind of aged. And as linear as it is, I mean, it's still fun and everything, but I want that game to kind of be remade and be twisted.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't mind. Like we're getting to that point where like, yeah, I don't know if any game is like untouchable. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing remakes of classic games with like, not necessarily upgraded graphics, but like updated, you know, quality of life improvements. You know,
yes,
quality of life improvements, and you know, maybe fix some control issues where like you go back to Super Metroid, like that game is great and all, but like platforming in that game is not the best platforming from a company who has built their name on platformers pretty much. Like the platforming's not great. It's serviceable. It's not great. Maybe the 8-way direction shooting could be like, you could use the right stick to have full 360 motion of shooting, you know, instead of stopping and aiming and having only 8 directions where like if you miss by like a millimeter, like you're screwed, right? So
yes,
I think they could do some cool stuff with quality of life things. Way Forward, Drinkbox, Yacht Club. I would trust all of them with some sort of Nintendo IP.
I want Way Forward to redo The Legend of Zelda 2. Zelda 2 is a mess.
Yeah, that game, like, speaking of quality of life improvements, like, that game could totally use an update because, like, nobody wants to play it because A, it's hard, B,
Yes,
it's some of the stuff in that game is unfair, you know?
the localization is jacked.
Yeah, so, I mean, Zelda 2 could definitely use some love in that department, too.
Getting that butter knife. Yeah.
So, oh, jeez, butter knife.
The anger.
So yeah, I'd love to see that, and then there's something else I thought of, but I forgot already. So,
You know what would be kind of cool if Nintendo took so back in the NES days, a lot of their games came on the black box limitation and stuff. And I kind of would love to see those games remastered by some indies and third parties. Like Nintendo bring the black box the black box line, like just to pick 10 games and put them like in black boxes and bring them back, because in Japan the black box stuff for them, even though Wii U and Wii and stuff, that was for the M-rated stuff. Like their boxes represented the color of what that rating was going to be. But I would love to see like Kung Fu and Donkey Kong and the original Mario Brothers and the Versus Mario.
I think a remake of Donkey Kong could be really cool, like the original Donkey Kong.
Yes.
And I know like Donkey Kong 94 was kind of that, but I think if you just took that concept and updated the graphics or whatever, like make Mario jump and feel how Mario's supposed to feel, right? Like, I think you could do something really cool there. I think there could be something really cool in a remake of Donkey Kong.
Is it called Hogan's Alley?
I don't remember.
Or it was one of those shooting games for Nintendo with the with the zapper.
I don't remember.
Whatever it was, I could see Nintendo teaming up with Treasure and doing a new and taking a spin on some of their light gun games, like Treasure doing Duck Hunt. It's just making it bonkers hard.
I'm surprised Nintendo never did something with Duck Hunt, like after Duck Hunt, right? Like I can't believe they never made like Duck Hunt 3D, where it's like almost like a third person shooter where like you like it's like almost like a tactical shooter almost, where you use your dog to like track and find the ducks and then you go through it. Like, I'm just surprised they never did anything with it after that original game. So, but the other thing I wanted to say was I want Nintendo to partner with Atlas and make a Persona style Fire Emblem game with a cool battle system. I mean, and don't get me wrong, Tokyo Mirage Sessions was a cool game, but like I want the Fire Emblem characters and like have the social link stuff and the genuine RPG, you know, going to dungeon style type RPG for Fire Emblem, like a traditional Fire Emblem RPG with Atlas style social links and stuff like that.
I would just have to pack up my PS4 and Xbox One and trade them in if that happens, because
and Atlas, like it could almost be like a Fire Emblem Warrior style thing too, where you bring in characters from all the games, right, and kind of fit them into this one timeline style thing, you know, because like there's a lot of characters that people love from different games, and you could do a lot of cool things with weapons and gear and outfits to appease the fan, like fan servicey type stuff, and like there's a lot of things you could do with Fire Emblem that I think would fit in an RPG.
I would love Nintendo to just pay $25 million to Steam to exclusively bring Portal 3 to their system.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Well, Valve, not Steam. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all the same.
It's the same.
It's all the same.
Because if Valve is serious getting back into video games, screw EA and snatch. I would snatch Portal 3 over Half-Life 3 anytime.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move on to our last question here. Kristen Lang writes in. She says, "Hi guys, new listener here and thought I'd write in. Thanks for listening. You could subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want and win a $20 eShop gift card if your question's in number 1. Do you think..." Shameless plug for the giveaway.
Do what you got to do.
Do you guys think it's time for Nintendo to bring a new IP to Switch? What would you like to see happen with a new IP?
They did that with ARMS, and it was a big hit. At this point in time, Nintendo doesn't need to bring a new IP.
I think we'll see Retro's new IP though. I don't know if the Switch needs one because I think the Switch is doing well on its own, and ARMS did well enough, and there's a lot of and you forget too, we got Snipper Clips this Gen 2, which is technically a Nintendo IP published IP. So
and you got one to Switch, but
no, we don't. So like we've
did well. So
we've seen a few new IP on Switch, but like to your point, like I still think that Retro's new IP is going to be some sort of something in a first person.
Oh, we did get a new IP.
What
for Switch and 3DS? Sushi Strikers.
Yeah. I guess we've gotten a few new IP for Switch. So I guess, yeah, we've gotten a few, but to like fully answer your question, I think we're going to see Retro's new IP, and I think Retro, I still think that Star Fox Racing game is real, but I also think that that's a quote unquote B team project.
Yes.
So like whatever Retro's main team is working on, like I think it's going to be a first person shooter style game with a lot of puzzle elements similar to Metroid Prime, but it's going to be darker. It's going to be kind of be like, remember that game The Conduit that came out for Wii?
Yes.
I think it's going to it's not going to be like as weird as that, but it's going to have the similar style tone where it's kind of darker, going for a more realistic style, grounded tone instead of Metroid being, even though Metroid has like a more adult quote unquote theme to it, it's still got the bright colors and the the oranges and the greens really stick out, and Samus's suit is bright, and the enemies have those bright colors to them. Where like this, I feel like is going to be more traditional, almost like a Halo style art style to it, with a lot of environmental puzzles to solve.
I think Nintendo needs to publish more new IPs and not develop. I think they need to go look at like some other indies, some second tier developers, some third party games that got canceled or shelved, and Nintendo needs to publish it, because what's going to happen is it's better for Nintendo sometimes to publish someone else's work, because Nintendo's
that's what they did with Snipper Clips, right?
Yeah. I think when Nintendo takes something that somebody else is doing that Nintendo's not involved with, sometimes they'll let them know. They'll be like, "Hey, you're the guys doing a good job. Go ahead and do it." But when they give feedback and help you make changes, aka Bayonetta 2, you see better product and than what anyone else would expect.
Yeah.
People got mad at Nintendo and Platinum and Sega because Bayonetta 2 was exclusive to it. But people, after they played Bayonetta 2, you could see Nintendo's influence. You could see Platinum's, that's all Platinum's design, but you could see Nintendo's influence.
And their level of polish, too. Because, yes. Don't get me wrong, Bayonetta 1 was a good game, but it was a little choppy. It was a little unfit. I don't want to say unfinished. That's the wrong term. But, it was unpolished. It probably could have used 6 months of polish. Whereas you go into Bayonetta 2, you see a bigger budget behind it, a lot of polish, a lot of, cleaner design, which is probably all very influenced by Nintendo.
Yeah.
So
there's a consistent of high quality there. And even if some of Nintendo's own games don't keep that high quality, like that momentum, if you look at a Nintendo developed game, and as much as people say I'm not going to get that, 2 months later they'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna pre-order this. Mm-hmm. Or they'll be like, their interests get high. So I think Nintendo could publish a lot of people's other games, and people will see it and be like, yeah, that's on the radar of being on my Switch.
Yeah. Before we wrap up here, to go back to the previous question about who Nintendo should work with,
mm-hmm.
They should work with Evo Studios, the studio behind that Onrush game and used to make the MotorStorm games. Right? Ooh. On PS3, they should work with them and make an Excite Bike game.
I could see that happening. Yes. I could see that happening.
You have all kinds of cool bike customizations, custom tracks, and if you want to, what if it was like Excite Bike versus Excite Truck? Remember Excite Truck for Wii?
Yes, that game is super fun.
If you do Excite Bike versus Excite Truck, you could have so many cool things in there. I just think that would be really cool because, like, MotorStorm was probably PS3's best racing game, even on top of like Gran Turismo, and I know Matt's going to shoot me for saying this, but like it's better than Mod Nation Racers and Little Big Planet karting. Like MotorStorm was it for PS3, right? And then
yes,
after Drive Club, Sony kind of parted ways, and that new game Onrush that they didn't sell very well, but it's got MotorStorm influences through and through, right? And like it's on Game Pass, so I downloaded it because I kind of want to play it because MotorStorm was awesome. So I could see them doing like an Excite Bike versus Excite Truck, getting like arcadey racer back into Nintendo, not called Mario Kart.
And I think that developer will be like, this is a whole new ball. Like they will feel honored that someone from Nintendo is coming in, to oversee things and help them out. And I think they would be like, what we got on PS with Sony and other stuff, we're getting way different than with Nintendo, and it's helping us to be better. So a site bike and a site truck, the most important thing, of course, is the racing and stuff, but it's gonna be like, what zaniness are you gonna bring into this, and how fun it's going to be. Yeah,
and if they implement some sort of like cool trick system for the bikes, yes, and like really get that custom course thing in there, because I think that'd be really cool. It could almost be like it doesn't need to be like super deep or anything, but it could be like, we could go in here. It would actually work better almost as like a Halo Forge situation where like you take the tracks that exist or the environments that exist and
yes,
create new jumps or new obstacles to go around or something like that on existing courses. I think that would be really, really cool to see implemented. I feel really bad for that studio though, because like half their staff got laid off because Onrush didn't do very well. Sadly, I didn't even know that game was coming out. Honestly,
yeah,
because I would have kept a bigger eye on that if I knew like, hey, the MotorStorm team's making a new racing game, So, which is why I downloaded it on Game Pass, because I want to try it out. So.
I think some other people are eyeing them and picking them up, but like if they could get in touch with Nintendo and even just make a demo or something, and be like, we would love to work on your like. Just
it would work great with the Joy-Cons too, with the with the motion and just popping them off and do 2-player arcade racing. Like, man, that game, like racing games are made for what the Switch is capable of doing by popping off the Joy-Cons and 2-player racing or whatever. And there just aren't enough on there because I think a lot of arcade racers are afraid of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Mario Kart is number 10 on the UK digital list.
A year and a half after it comes out.
Right. It's been a year and 4 months?
Yeah,
that game
like
came
that.
out? 5 months? And the game is still selling?
Technically, it's been like 4.5 years since it came out. But
oh, yeah.
But
well, more the Switch version.
I know. I'm just messing with you, but like... Man.
But you know what? I think even if they just made a game in the style of Excite Bike and probably present it to Nintendo, I think that would get a lot of people talking to be like, "Hey, Nintendo, check this out, Nintendo."
Or even if you made it like a $30 or $40 downloadable title, that maybe it's not very deep, maybe there's not a huge progression system, but I mean, look at Fast RMX. Look what that did for $19.99. Like, you could easily do something on a budget like that for Excite Bike. Easily.
And they made bukus of money because everybody's been talking about that game.
Well, like, everybody wants F-Zero and Wipeout, and that's like the closest thing to it. So.
Pretty much.
Man, I got my second wind at the second half of this podcast, man. Don't get me wrong. When we stop recording, I'm going to pass out. But right now, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, man. So, but that's going to do it for Question Block. Remember, if you want that $20 eShop gift card, email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com or tweet at us at Nintendo_P-Block. And make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link to the video of this podcast in the description, so it's easy for you to just click on it and subscribe. So we want that sweet URL.
Yes.
So subscribe, please. Thanks. Love you. But that's going to do it for this edition of Nintendo Pow Block. You can find Nintendo Pow Block every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on your podcast service of choice. I'm working on moving it over to SoundCloud. That way we can easily get it onto Spotify. So those two platforms are coming soon. So stay tuned for more information on that. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nintendo_P-Block. Email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. And, of course, subscribe to the Nintendo Pow Block YouTube page as well as our other family of podcasts and their separate YouTube pages as well. You can find all of our content on ngrradio.com. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode, and you can check out this week exclusive on NGR Radio. The Beauty of Video Games Volume 4, The Beauty of Art and Characters. It is live. Please, guys, go check it out, ngrradio.com. The way that it goes, Sunday through Friday are all blogs, and then Saturday is the podcast, and I have a lot of special guests that is coming on. The first week is that you guys are seeing this, it's all about art. It's all about characters. Sorry. Next week will be all about art, and then the third and final week will be the mixture of two on why both of them need each other and why we enjoy character design and artistic looks in our characters. And also, a certain person is giving the eulogy or epilogue, I should say. Not a eulogy. It's giving the epilogue to the project. So I cannot wait for you guys to hear that. But it is 3 weeks of blogs and 4 podcasts that you guys can check it out. So yes, the Beauty of Video Games is live. It is an optional opinion project. But if you guys want to hear just other episodes of Optional Opinion, you guys can check that out at SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and other podcast apps. But yes, do check out the Beauty of Video Games Volume 4, The Beauty of Art and Characters.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CoreyNHT86. You can find me on Nerds Gone Rogue and other various content on NGR Radio. Also on Arsenal X. Let's see. What else? There's something else that I wanted to promote, but I forget already. So
there's Platinum.
Check out our family of shows, including Arsenal X podcast and Nerds Gone Platinum podcasts, each having their own YouTube channels as well. Go subscribe to them. Also, be aware this week that on the Nintendo Pow Block YouTube channel, there will be quick looks going up of, let's see, what do I have scheduled this week for quick looks? Mega Man 11 demo, Hyper Light Drifter, and some Paladins gameplay. So be aware of that going up this week. And yeah,
is the Nintendo Direct this Thursday also?
I don't know when it is yet. That hasn't really been announced yet.
Yeah, it is. They said the 13th.
They did? Mm-hmm. When did they say that?
I think IGN on Nintendo Voice Chat. I think Brian Altano said Nintendo on the 13th.
Huh.
That they announced it.
I haven't listened to that episode yet. I'm waiting for that episode's going to be in my Monday show for work. So,
I was watching the video of it, so it should be. That's my assumption.
Yeah, I mean that probably sounds about right. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching Nintendo Pow Block.
Before you go, season 3 of How to Play is live, guys. So the latest episode of Infamous First Light has dropped, so you guys can check that out also.
That's right. So, and also check out Nindy Showcase Season 1. We are in pre-production of Season 2. I'm very excited because there's a lot of big games coming up for Season 2. So,
yes.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching Nintendo Pow Block. And until next week, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!